Part 36. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 351. While the program crew said that the camera was now on Yinghuan. On the way Lin Mei took Shen Shiken back. Shen Shiken said briefly, "I just played a game with him. When I was in school, I had good skills, and he invited me to join the team. I was in high school at that time, so what happened behind the game? We still played for a few years, and then we entered society after graduation, and he rarely played anymore until 2 years ago." Speaking of this, Shen Shiken was a little unhappy. "After playing for so long, I thought he knew who I was, but it turned out that he remembered me as the assistant. He didn't even remember my real name. I sat with him for a year in junior high school. He doesn't even remember the table. Do you think he's going too far?" When her friend complained, Lin Mei could only complain, "Yes, yes, yes. It is indeed a bit excessive. A dog man indeed. But it's not his fault." Shen Shiken touched her face. "I didn't actually look good looking at that time. Later, when I grew up, I would dress up and look better. I was still a little fat when I was in junior high school. It's normal if he doesn't remember it." Lin Mei was shocked. "You. What is the plot direction of the novel?" Shen Shiken was open-minded. She smiled and said, "Did you see it? I like him. Yes, he was the male god of our school at that time. Who doesn't like him? The girls who chase him can, from Asia to Europe. I'm just the most inconspicuous person. After joining the team, we didn't have much interaction. We played games together, and I was just a small support member. I just thought he would be a little impressed by me." Shen Shiken was a little unwilling to think about it, but she had no choice but to say, "I did know that he was here before I came here, but after you invited me, I didn't expect such a coincidence. I wondered if we would meet him this time, but we didn't. Just thinking about meeting him makes my heart pierce." Lin Mei. She couldn't say anything, and even felt some sympathy. She patted her shoulder and sighed, "Look at it, this kind of scumbag is not worth it. He is still chasing his sister." Lin Mei suddenly felt worried. "He is not a scumbag." Shen Shiken looked at Lin Mei and blinked. "He has never dated any girls since he was in school, and I have never heard of him being a scumbag. It's just me who has unrequited love, and I also know that it's impossible to be with him. Just think of him as my male god." Lin Mei thought this was understandable, but it was a bit unbelievable. He has never had a girlfriend. This kind of top guy has never had a girlfriend. He either has a hidden disease or is gay. But he is still chasing his sister now? No. Shen Shiken shook her head. "He is too famous. Everyone in our school knows about it. We know about every little trouble. We must also know whether he has a girlfriend or not. I don't know after college, but some of the friends I play with are buddies with him. My son, they said he never dated girls. I didn't believe it before, but now that I've seen him, I believe the rumors are true." Lin Mei, "What rumors?" Shen Shiken, "He is gay." Lin Mei, "It doesn't look like it." Shen Shiken still looked heartbroken. "I can understand that he doesn't like me, but there are so many goddesses chasing him, and he doesn't like any of them, so I think it's too much. Only homosexuality can explain it." Lin Mei. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 352. While they were talking, they had already arrived at Yinghuan's home. The camera had to be moved over, and the program team reminded them not to talk about irrelevant topics. Shen Shiken also saw the appearance of Yinghuan's home, and immediately exclaimed, "So beautiful. Now the flowers have all grown up, colorful, surrounding the fence wall. The key is not the kind of particularly gaudy beauty. Surrounding the fence wall, the whole courtyard is shrouded in a fragrance. The pond inside also made a gurgling sound of flowing water. There was a protruding place in the middle of the arch bridge, and the water would flow down from it, making a turbulent sound like a stream. You can also see fish swimming in the pond. A little black dog was barking inside, and a robot was walking slowly next to it. This scenery and atmosphere are so beautiful. Shen Shiken is now a painter, and she immediately felt a little itchy and wanted to draw the scene in front of her. But she was still a little surprised when she saw the robot. What is this? Lin Mei was also startled. I didn't see it when I came yesterday. Yingwan didn't let De He out last night, so Lin Mei didn't see it. Yingwan heard their voices and came out to see them. Seeing that Lin Mei and the others were still a little shocked to see De He, Yingwan said, "It's my robot, with primary intelligence, which can only be used to simply guard the house. When you came yesterday, it ran out of power and was recharged, so I didn't let it out." Intelligent robot. Lin Mei's eyes lit up. Chen Shiken greeted Yingwan while watching. "Academician Ying, hello, my name is Chen Shiken." Although she is older than Yingwan, she looks much more reserved and is quite polite in front of Yingwan. Yingwan smiled and said, "Just call me Yingwan, don't be too polite." Chen Shiken nodded, and Lin Mei was ready to touch De He. De He walked over and said the familiar words, "Have you eaten?" Lin Mei and Chen Shiken were both startled. Lin Mei immediately replied reflexively, "I haven't eaten yet." De He. It was silent for a few seconds and then slowly turned away. Yingwan added, "It only has elementary intelligence. I made it when I was 9 years old and had just started to learn computer science. It has basically no intelligence and the database does not record much. It can only ask this question." Lin Mei. Shen Shiken looked blank for a moment. 9 years old. At the same time, the barrage also broke out. It started, the invisible pretense of the academician. I or others made robots at the age of 9, I played with mud at the age of 9. I just started to make it when I was 9 years old, I or how did she master computer science when it is so complicated? I have been studying artificial AI for several years and I dare not say that I can build such a robot casually. With current technology, it is actually easy to build such a robot. After all, it is just a machine without any intelligence. It is not even as good as the intelligent customer service of major apps now. But comrades, please pay attention to the key point. She was 9 years old, which was 15 years ago. At that time, foreign AI was just beginning to show its clues. Sure enough, is this the world of gods? You are obsessed with technology. When you were 9 years old, you couldn't build this thing with the current technology. A junior student in computer science said that he was seriously offended. We can't build this thing at all. Thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 353. Chen Shiken looked at Lin Mei with a meaningful look. Lin Mei felt offended. What are you looking at? I can't do it. Justified. Chen Shiken was quite interested in this robot. Besides, Yingwan was not from the same world as her. She was brought here by Lin Mei, so she naturally talked to Lin Mei more. Yingwan was busy in the kitchen now. She was a guest and didn't know these things. Of course, she didn't make trouble. She just talked to Lin Mei outside and sighed. Do you usually ask Yingwan about her academician? Lin Mei, I don't really ask. This touches on my blind spot of knowledge, and the process will seriously humiliate my IQ. I don't want to humiliate myself. Because now in the jokes of netizens, she has learned how to make fun of herself. When this sentence was said, the barrage was really full of 2333333333333333333 My Mei, we are all the same, don't be afraid, we are with you. Shen Shiken was amused by the sentence and laughed so hard that she couldn't stop saying, "My Mei, I really admire your sister." Lin Mei's eyes were complicated. Who wouldn't admire her? Who wouldn't be envious? Even she herself sometimes sighed, even if she had given Yingwan's extra IQ to herself at that time, a little more. She wouldn't have been so miserable in the Lin family. The barrage was also sighing at the same time. To be honest, if the country hadn't recognized it now, I would definitely not believe that Yingwan was so awesome at such a young age. It's understandable that she has a high IQ, and even entering Hatton for further studies at the age of 9 is not something that shocks the world. The key is that her achievements are too awesome. Many geniuses are the best in the world when they first appear, but most of them are silent later. Sometimes being a genius is not as easy as we imagine, because many geniuses will be tempered by various aspects, pressure, and their own personality, and many are prone to academic extremes. Yingwan is too rare. A group of people with an IQ of less than 100 said how much pressure geniuses have. Remember the barrage saying that my IQ is less than 100. I say I have suffered serious personal injury and will go to court to sue you immediately. Chen Shiken was talking to Lin Mei about Yingwan, and the person who was the center of their topic was now concentrating on the beer duck in the pot. Beer must be added to roast beer duck. This dish was made by Yingwan's grandfather when he was young, but he rarely made it and did not let Yingwan eat it. It was said that beer was added to it, but it was obviously a dish. Yingwan felt that she could eat it, but she was drunk after drinking some of Silu's champagne last time. This time, beer was only added to the dish. Yingwan thought it was no problem. As for why beer duck was made, it was because in the recent program announcement, Lin Mei ate a beer duck made by someone else and said it was delicious. When making it today, Yingwan thought of it and decided to make beer duck. The fresh aroma of beer penetrated into the mouth and nose, and there was also the rich smell of duck meat. The aroma was transmitted to the noses of the two people outside through the kitchen. Shen Shiken sniffed and her eyes lit up. Beer duck. Lin Mei immediately asked, "Have you eaten it?" Shen Shiken nodded. "Yeah, I ate it once in the capital before, and I have some impression. There are relatively few dishes with wine." Lin Mei also thought, "I just ate beer duck recently, and I think it's okay. Could it be that Wan Wan made it for her?" Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 354. Lin Mei didn't dare to think too much, fearing that she was being sentimental, and could only say it was a coincidence. The meal was almost ready. The main dish was beer duck made by Yingwan, and there were several fried side dishes, vegetable and meatball soup, some stewed food, and pickled radish that she made herself. The meal was delicious. Chen Shiken didn't finish watching all of Lin Mei's live broadcasts, but she knew that she had a sister who cooked very well, and Yingwan's public identity was secondary. Now that she smelled the fragrance of the food, Chen Shiken felt that she couldn't hold back her saliva in her mouth. "My Mei, Yingwan's food is really delicious." The temptation of smelling the fragrance could not be concealed, and Chen Shiken swallowed her saliva very obviously when she spoke. With this look, the barrage was full of wailing. In the middle of the day, in order to watch the live broadcast, they could only order takeout or eat instant noodles, and few people could watch while eating at home. Every time it was time for dinner, watching Yingwan's live broadcast seemed much more torturous. When Chen Shiken came in the morning, she left too early and didn't have a good breakfast. Now she couldn't help it when she smelled the fragrance. Lin Mei set up the dishes and chopsticks, and the three of them sat in the pavilion. Chen Shiken praised Yingwan several times. Yingwan just smiled lightly. "It's okay as long as you like it." She wouldn't do anything to win other people's favor. Anyway, anyone who comes here is treated the same. After all, they are here to do a show. Chen Shiken's awareness of doing a show is still good. She and Lin Mei talked and laughed, which made the atmosphere much more lively, which formed a sharp contrast with the quietness of Lin Mei and Yingwan together. Yingwan had a good appetite for food. She always wanted to eat more. This time, the beer duck was cooked for the first time, but she mastered it well. It had the sweet fragrance of wine. Although it was beer she had never drunk before, the taste was much lighter after stewing, and the duck meat was tasty. She was very satisfied with the food. Almost halfway through the meal, the two girls, one a star and the other half a star, were very careful about their figures. In addition to other side dishes and vegetable meatball soup, Shen Shiken and Lin Mei were a little full, and Yingwan ate half a portion of duck alone. As they ate, Lin Mei and Shen Shiken's eyes moved to her. There was nothing else, because Yingwan's changes were too obvious. She blushed. Su Han, who was guarding in the dark, saw Yingwan blushing and knew that she would be in trouble after eating beer duck. I didn't expect that she really couldn't touch any alcohol. Yingwan never drank before, so there was no problem in this regard. Today it was just beer duck, and last time she drank some champagne. Su Han looked at Lin Mei and Shen Shiken, who seemed innocent and ignorant while recording the show, and couldn't help but sympathize with them. I guess I wish I hadn't appeared here later. The other Special Forces members vaguely realized that something was wrong, and couldn't help asking with a smile, "Do you want to say something? Miss Ying seems to be a little bit wrong." The last time she got drunk and forced Sci-Lu to hand in a paper is still vivid in her mind. Maybe she thinks she's eating vegetables so she's fine. Su Han curled his lips and smiled. When he saw Lin Mei concernedly asking Yingwan if there was anything wrong, and Yingwan's eyes were starting to look strange, he shook his shoulders and said, "Forget it. As long as nothing else happens, Miss Ying will go to rest by herself. It's really worry-free." And they were in the middle of a live show, so how could they appear in the camera? And the changes in Yingwan were not only noticed by Lin Mei and Shen Shiken. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 355. Comment. Why do I feel that Yingwan's blushing is not normal? When making beer duck, a bottle of beer was poured down. Could she be drunk? Can you get drunk by wiping beer? This is not directly drunk, it is added to the dish. Not necessarily drunk, just blushing. Some people are like this, they will get drunk and blush as long as they are close to alcohol. Am I the only one who is curious about what Yingwan looks like when she is drunk? She is usually so cold and bossy, but she is so cute when she is drunk. My blushing face is so cute I can't stop having evil thoughts in my heart. I am guilty, I will commit suicide now. Pay attention to the comments, it is very likely that you will be caught and asked to think about life. Wan Wan is so cute when she is blushing. At this time, Sci-Lu, who was in the room, was also watching the live broadcast. Although he could watch it directly from a close distance, he could not go over after all. At this moment, seeing Yingwan start to blush, Sci-Lu narrowed his eyes. Obviously he found that something was wrong. Could it be that Yingwan really couldn't drink a drop of alcohol? Thinking of what happened last time, Sci-Lu sneered again. At least someone could enjoy his pain. Lin Mei looked at Yingwan's red face and was still a little worried. "Wan Wan, do you want to take a rest? I'll clean up the dishes. You look so red, are you feeling uncomfortable?" She knew that beer was added to the beer duck, so she asked, "Can't you drink alcohol?" Yingwan didn't say anything. His eyes were only on the table, but if you look closely, you'll feel a little dizzy. Chen Shiken took a look and couldn't help asking, "Are you drunk?" Impossible. Lin Mei and Chen Shiken also ate beer duck, but they didn't react at all. How could this little bit of alcohol be intoxicating? Lin Mei stood up. "Wan Wan, I'll take you to rest." At this time, Yingwan suddenly raised his head and looked at her with a blank look. Lin Mei had a vague sense of foreboding. She heard Yingwan say, "Why hasn't the teacher seen you?" Lin Mei. Chen Shiken. Lin Mei couldn't help but say, Wan, what's wrong with you? Yingwan looked thoughtful. Are you here to take the teacher's class? You are really good students. Lin Mei. No, I'm not, I didn't. Chen Shiken also had a premonition of something. She whispered to Lin Mei, if I run away now, wouldn't it seem a bit unjust? Lin Mei replied, if you run away, our sisterhood will be severed today. Chen Shiken. She just felt that something was not good. The program team was also afraid that Yingwan would get drunk and have some accidents, but looking at Yingwan's reaction at this time, there were some unexpected plots, which might be a super climax, and they were also looking forward to it. Yingwan was probably drunk, otherwise she would never show this look normally. Don't even think about seeing her. Ah, a drunk academician, so cute. I really want to touch her face. At this moment, Teacher Ying, who was called cute by everyone, knocked on the table and said something that was no less than magic sound to the two people in front of him, you should finish your papers. Hand them in for the teacher to take a look. Be quick, I don't have much time. Lin Mei? Chen Shiken? The barrage at this moment was all ha 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 ha. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 356. Drunk, I knew it. Ha 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 ha, asking people to hand in their papers, what kind of devil is this? I have seen people get drunk and act crazy, but I have never seen people chasing people to hand in their papers. I was writing a paper and suddenly felt a shudder from my soul. If I were Chen Shiken, I would run away now. I know it's cruel, but Yingwan is so cute, ha 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 ha. My Mei, you and Kinkin should hand in your papers quickly. Too cruel, so cruel that people can't bear to watch it. Shocked, what makes millions of people call it cruel? Asking people to hand in their papers after being drunk, is this a moral decline or a destruction of humanity? Lin Mei was almost confused. I haven't been to school for a long time, Wan, we are not your students. Chen Shiken hurriedly said, Yingwan, you are drunk, why don't you go in and rest, we pack up. Yingwan looked at them in confusion, what nonsense are you talking about? Why don't you hand in your thesis soon? Do you still want to graduate? Aren't you wasting the teacher's time like this? Lin Mei. She just wanted to commit suicide on the spot now. Chen Shiken lowered her head like an ostrich. Yingwan didn't dwell on this matter. She quickly said, since you haven't finished it yet, don't worry. The teacher has a question here. You can try to solve it. I have been teaching you for so long. I hope you won't let me down. As she said that, she got up and went into the house to get something. Lin Mei looked at her back with a bad feeling, and couldn't help but said to the director in the headset, Director, can Shiken and I go out alone? I want to take her to see the surrounding scenery. The director was ruthless, no, how can you leave your drunk sister behind? Lin Mei. This sentence was not covered, so the audience also heard it. Immediately, there was another cruel ha 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 ha. Yingwan came out, holding the tablet, and put the question directly in front of Lin Mei and Chen Shiken. She sat down with a red face, but her tone was very serious, come on, just this question, it's very simple. Lin Mei took a look. What the hell is this? Is this mathematics? Are you sure it's not the Bible? Chen Shiken took a look and felt a tingling pain from the depths of her soul in her brain, which made her eyes unable to look directly at the question. In order to be effective, the program team used the method of zooming in the camera to fully present this question to the audience. Si Lu took a look and found that it was not the same question that was given to him at the beginning. In such a short time, she had a new question. The barrage was full of devilish words, and he actually agreed with it at this time. Barrage. Is this a question for humans? Just looking at the question stem, it is definitely not something that can be solved by university mathematics. I am a mathematics major in Tsinghua University and Peking University. When I see this question now, I doubt that I have never learned mathematics. I have shown the question to my professor. Wait for me for an hour. What kind of devil is this, my God? Oh my God, this is actually a math problem. What is this? How can this string of numbers be combined into a problem? What is this? Lin Mei probably doubted her life. Chen Shiken closed her eyes and didn't want to see it, laughing to death. 233,333. Chen Shiken, my eyes don't allow me to see this kind of thing. Sorry for being sick these few days. I was getting better and suddenly had a fever. I had no choice but to stop. I will start to make up for it now. I will update 12 chapters today and continue tomorrow. Sorry, everyone. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 357. Their expressions were almost distorted, but drunk Yingwan was still so innocent and simple. She sat across from them, holding her chin with her fingers, looking at them silently. You guys hurry up and do the questions. This question is not difficult. Shen Shiken. Lin Mei. Damn, I can't even understand it. It can be said that it is not difficult, as expected, he is not from the same world. Shen Shiken felt that if she felt weak, she would cry on the spot. The audience in the barrage burst into laughter when they heard Yingwan's words, and some shed tears of sadness amid the ha 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 ha. Yingwan said the questions that he couldn't even understand were simple. He was indeed not from the same world. But the feeling from Si Lu's side was different. He moved his fingertips slightly and looked at the people on the screen. Lowered his eyes slightly. The camera zoomed in very close, and you could see Yingwan's red cheeks, as if she had applied blush. Her usually calm face seemed to be dyed with the most beautiful colors, and her eyes were as bright as stars. With the blessing of the live broadcast, she is incredibly beautiful. How could such Yingwan not make people's hearts flutter? And obviously, she was not the only one whose heart was moved. I don't know how many people saw Yingwan's drunken state on the screen, which directly exposed his wolfish ambitions. Barrage. I can't stand it anymore, it's so beautiful, damn it's so cute. Oh my God, how can there be such lovely people in the world? Ah, my mother usually looks cold and indifferent to her, but now that she looks like this, doesn't she want to kill me? Awei is dead, Awei is dead. Awei is about to die. Everyone, calm down. So cute, my God. He is smart and good looking, but now he is cute, and he is such an academician, who can't do it? An academician is expected to have 3 husbands and 4 concubines in her life, and no one is worthy of her. I think academicians must be the best looking people. If they are not good looking, we will attack each other. When my mother saw it, she was already insulting me crazily, saying that she is cute, smart, and great. Why can't I do the same? Academician, please stop spreading your charm. Don't let my Wanwanze drink anymore. Many people obviously have bad thoughts about late night. It's no wonder he is so good looking and smart, he is unparalleled in the world. Who doesn't like it, who doesn't want to hold it in the palm of their hand? Si Lu looked at the comments on the screen, and his narrow eyes flashed with so much vigor, if eyes could kill. Those netizens who said I can do it have probably been killed by Si Lu several times. Occasionally, I saw a few people who said they were good looking and smart enough to be matched with Yingwan, which made Si Lu feel a little happy. Everyone has sharp eyes. Only what kind of person is worthy of Yingwan? Of course he does. Reminiscent of the fact that a month ago, everyone had mixed reviews about Yingwan. Now that they only know her status as an academician, it would probably be even more explosive if they knew that she was also the chairman of Wantang. At that time, more people wanted to get close to Yinghuan. He must seize the only opportunity, at least until he succeeds. No one else can expect any special treatment from Yinghuan. On the live broadcast side, Lin Mei wanted to raise her head, trying not to have any sense of existence, but the gaze opposite Yinghuan was too hot. Shen Shiken glanced at the title and took a close look at Yinghuan. Seeing this, my heart beat faster. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 358. Who doesn't like good-looking people? He looked aloof in front of others, but now he was drunk, his cheeks were red, and his eyes were even brighter. Those eyes are like those of a deer, looking straight at you. Looking at it, Shen Shiken couldn't help but feel a little hot and her hands were itchy. I want to give it a squeeze. But now that it was live broadcast, considering the consequences of doing so, Shen Shiken wisely stopped this idea. She found that inspiration was coming to her now and she couldn't hold it back any longer. She stood up, and Lin Mei was startled, and asked her in a low and frightened voice, "Why are you going? But you are not allowed to leave, you have to be worthy enough to stay and let her die with you. I'll get my drawing board and brushes." Shen Shiken didn't hide it from her. She went into the house and took out the drawing board from her suitcase. Over there, Yinghuan was dazed and didn't chase her. She only asked Lin Mei, "Why is she going there? Does she want to cheat?" Lin Mei smiled flatteringly, "You really think too much. You are looking down on us if you can cheat on that question." Ha 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 ha, Lin Mei, is she too self-conscious? They all use honorific titles, ha 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 ha. After searching on Baidu, there is no model for this question at all. I suggest Mei commit suicide. I have already shown it to the professor. The professor took one look and said that this problem cannot be solved by the mathematics community without research for half a year. Suddenly I don't know how to sympathize with Lin Mei and Shen Shiken. It's really miserable. Am I so outrageous? It's so outrageous. I just sent this topic to a foreign mathematics professor. The professor excitedly asked me where the topic came from. He also said that he would have to study this topic for at least 3 months. I really want to know who gave the professor an hour of Jaime's time. What a sacred place. I am the Jaime who just said to wait for me for an hour. I suggested that the professor should make it within an hour. My professor told me to get lost/smile. Don't be discouraged if you can't do it, Mei. Just hand in the blank paper and ask teacher Ying what to do. Yinghuan also nodded. I haven't shown this question to other teachers yet. It shouldn't be possible for you to cheat. Do it quickly. Lin Mei. At this time, Shen Shiken came out holding a drawing board and a brush. She tends to paint realistic paintings, and her painting skills are superb, especially portraits. Inspired by this time, she hung up the drawing board. Yinghuan didn't come over to look at it, but asked her in confusion, "What are you doing?" Shen Shiken said smoothly, "Teacher, I am working on the questions, now it is a draft." Yinghuan nodded, "Good student." Then he turned to Lin Mei, "You learn." Lin Mei. "Teacher, would you like to come over and take a look at what she is doing?" However, she didn't know what was going on with Yinghuan today. She didn't go to rest. She just sat there and watched Lin Mei and Shen Shiken. Lin Mei was forced to have no choice but to sit there and pretend to do the questions on the tablet. In fact, she felt that her IQ was seriously offended even when she took a look at the questions, let alone did the questions. Shen Shiken had a huge drawing board as a cover, and started painting Yinghuan happily. Although Yinghuan moves from time to time, most of the time he lies quietly on the table. Her source of inspiration couldn't stop, and just like that, in the live broadcast room watched by tens of millions of people, a painting was created under Shen Shiken's pen. She painted very quickly, but she couldn't bear the time-consuming process of painting. In this quiet atmosphere, for about an hour, Yinghuan gradually sobered up from the drunkenness. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 359. She looked at everything in front of her and had a vague impression. She saw Shen Shiken painting with a paintbrush and couldn't help asking, "What are you doing?" Shen Shiken said casually, "I'm working on a draft." Yingwan paused, "What draft?" "Ah." Lin Mei heard this and looked over. Sure enough, she saw that Yingwan was much more sober now. His eyes were now clearer. It was obvious that he was a little drunk. She immediately wanted to cry out on the spot, "Do the questions you gave us, have you forgotten?" Yingwan raised her eyebrows in surprise, "I'm drunk." Obviously, she also knew what kind of character she was when she was drunk. Lin Mei couldn't help it when she heard it, "Yes, we just ate some beer duck, but I didn't expect you to be drunk." Her voice contained accusations. She had been monitoring them here for an hour, and the key was to say a few words to them from time to time. "Why can't you do it? This question is so simple. Didn't you study hard?" She swore that her IQ peak in this life was about to come out, but she couldn't figure out what to write in the first step of this question. Terrible, just a devil. Yingwan saw Lin Mei's miserable appearance and chuckled. She probably knew what she had done. She said, "Sorry, I didn't know I couldn't drink. When I'm drunk, I'll repeat some of the things I did before." She paused and said, "I used to be a professor in Hatton and often taught students, as you know." Lin Mei smiled sadly, "Of course I know, I'm still learning from it now." Yingwan smiled lightly. With this smile, Shen Shiken felt that her inspiration couldn't hold back again. The barrage was ha 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 ha. Too much, the professor was much more cruel when he was teaching than now. Time not only feeds pigs, but also smooths the professor's character. I remember that when we couldn't solve the problem, the professor scolded us directly. Yingwan, if you took my class seriously and wrote down everything I wrote, you wouldn't ask such a stupid question. A question that once stumped the students of the Department of Mathematics at Hatton. Teacher Ying said, "I only asked you to solve this problem within 1 month. It only took me 3 days when I was in school. It is incredible that I gave you 1 month. Don't let me down." Then she didn't even say that other professors also took nearly a month. Smile. She never repeats the questions. If you don't understand it once, you can basically say goodbye to her class. It's really too much, but it's also really amazing. If you can understand it thoroughly in her class, you will make great progress. A group of students commented online in the barrage. A poor student who graduated from a fake university, shed tears of regret. "I didn't study hard at the beginning, and now I can't even understand a live variety show. We are all human beings, why can the gap be so big?" Lin Mei saw that Yingwan was awake now, and she was relieved. She asked her carefully, "Then you shouldn't let us do the questions now, right?" Yingwan took the tablet back, took another look at the question, and sighed softly, "Is it really that difficult?" Lin Mei. Shen Shiken had been here for only a few hours when she began to think of Buddha, and said calmly, "Because I can't understand it, I don't know whether it is difficult or not." Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 360. That's right, I can't even understand it. What's so difficult about it? I know it's a math problem, and then that's it? This is not math, even math majors don't know it. This is a heavenly book. Today's live variety show effect is still very sufficient, and Shen Shiken's words gave everyone a lot to watch. The previously dull live broadcast reached a climax after Yingwan got drunk. The number of real-time online people in this section has completely broken all records. It's just not as many as the number of viewers of some important national programs. Yingwan took the tablet in and said, "I'm drunk today, sorry." Lin Mei hurriedly said, "It's okay, but sister doesn't recommend you to drink in the future. If this tortures others, how miserable that person would be." Yingwan nodded, "I just thought I couldn't drink, but I didn't expect that I couldn't drink a drop of alcohol." The beer duck only had beer in it, and she ate it, and the other flavors also covered the taste of alcohol, but she still got drunk unexpectedly. This was indeed something she didn't expect. She said that she couldn't touch alcohol, but now she thought that she couldn't touch anything with alcohol. Putting the tablet back, Lin Mei finally let go of her tense heart and relaxed. She saw that the Yingwan painted by Chen Shiken had already taken shape, and she could vaguely see Yingwan's delicate state when she was drunk. The Yingwan in the words was lying on the table at that time, with her chin propped up and looking at the side with an innocent and naive look, which was so cute. Lin Mei looked at it and couldn't help but sigh, "Your painting skills are still amazing." Chen Shiken was also proud, "A painting is worth millions, you are kidding." The two joked like this, and they didn't care about any secrets that couldn't be made public, and laughed very happily. The barrage was shocked that Chen Shiken sold a painting for millions of yuan, and heard Lin Mei ask, "Give me this painting when it's finished." "Chen Shiken, you are so shameless, I will hang it in my own room." Lin Mei, "Humph." "Chen Shiken, I will make a copy for you after I finish it." Lin Mei, "Ha ha ha ha, I want a copy of the painting worth millions of yuan. Oh my god, I also want such a beautiful Yingwan." They should have obtained Yingwan's consent to draw such a portrait, right? "As a fine arts major, I am also very itchy, I want to draw it too." Si Lu saw that Chen Shiken actually drew a portrait of Yingwan. He frowned, and saw that Chen Shiken's painting skills were indeed good, and he made up his mind, wondering whether he should buy it when the time comes. But when he heard Chen Shiken's words, he smiled again. Forget it. If he wanted, he could draw it himself. His painting skills are not bad, of course, he is not as world famous as Chen Shiken, but he is a young master after all, and he has learned most of the art things at the beginning. His painting is professional, at least he can draw something that looks like the real person. He also thinks that Yingwan can be left with a painting as a souvenir. Although it is more convenient to take pictures these days, it is not as thoughtful as his own painting of Yingwan. Thinking of this, Si Lu also searched for a drawing board from the villa. He has some of everything here, just to help him pass the time. It was during this quiet moment of the live broadcast that Yingwan's drunken appearance became a hot search on Weibo.